You've probably heard the name NanoBanana. Sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? But it's actually Google's brand new AI image generation tool. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what NanoBanana is, how to start using it, and some jaw-dropping examples of what it can do. And most importantly, why this is not just Google's version of an AI image generation tool, but something that works in a surprisingly different way. NanoBanana is Google's new AI image generation tool. It can edit images, generate new ones, or even blend multiple images together, and it does it really fast. The good news is it's free. Yes, there's also a paid plan, but most people will never need it unless they're cranking out a high volume of images all day long. Getting started is simple. Just open a browser and go to gemini.google.com, or go to a search engine and type Google AI Studio and click on the link in the search results. Either way, sign in with your Google account and you're in. And here's what makes NanoBanana different from all other image generation tools. First, precision edits. You can change one small detail like a facial expression or a shirt color without wrecking the whole image. Most AI image generation tools struggle with that. Second, consistency. It keeps the same person looking like the same person across multiple edits. Third, speed. It works in seconds, not minutes. If you've used other AI image generation tools, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then fourth, seamless blends. It can merge multiple images together in a way that looks natural, not awkward or not stitched, and it does not scream AI generated the way so many other tools do. Now, talking about features is one thing, but it is way more fun to actually see this in action. So let me now show you some incredible examples you have to see to believe. First, changing facial expressions. Here's a photo of a woman looking at her laptop and she looks frustrated or annoyed. Sometimes you have a good image, but the facial expression isn't what you want. So I typed into NanoBanana, make this person look at the camera with a smile on her face. And here's the result, a real looking smile generated completely by NanoBanana. The scene in the original photo is still intact, but the woman's face is not disfigured and you can tell it's still the same woman. Most AI image generation tools cannot make subtle changes like this without warping the entire face and or messing up the rest of the image. Next example, blending people into one image. Here's a headshot of me, and here's a headshot of George Clooney I grabbed from the internet. I typed, show me and George Clooney sitting at an outdoor cafe in Paris. And here's the result. How cool is that? Now this is not Photoshop. NanoBanana started with 2 raw images, then blended them into one seamless scene. I could also take those same 2 images and say, show me and George Clooney taking a selfie at a baseball game. And here's what NanoBanana gives me. Pretty wild, right? Next example, creating professional headshots. Here's a guy taking a casual selfie with his phone in front of his garage. I type in, turn this selfie into a professional LinkedIn headshot. And here's the output. Looks like the guy hired a professional photographer and had studio lighting, but all it took was just one click in NanoBanana. So no more excuses for not having a good headshot. Next, redesigning rooms. Here's a shot of an empty living room. I type in, redesign this room in a modern farmhouse style. And here's the updated living room. I then type into NanoBanana, redesign this room with an IKEA theme. Here's the new result. This is a super fast way to see what your design ideas will look like before spending a dime. Next example, trying on tattoos. Here's a photo of my arm and here's a simple tattoo stencil design. I type in, place this tattoo design on the arm in a realistic way, and here's the result. Then I added, color the rose red. Here's the updated image. Better to see if you're going to like your tattoo before getting it permanently inked on your body. Next, restoring old photos. Here's an old faded photo of me and my brothers on my grandparents' farm taken many years ago. I type in, enhance this image so it looks like a modern digital photo. And here's the result. Side by side, it is night and day. I also tried photo restoration on a black and white photo from the 1950s, and NanoBanana brought it back to life in full color. No Photoshop skills required. Here's a business example. Adding products into photos. In this example, we're just going to use a coffee mug as our product. So here's an illustration, not an actual picture of a coffee mug, and here's a generic stock photo of a woman with her arms crossed. I type in, create a photorealistic image of this woman holding this mug, and here's the result. Only problem is she ended up with 3 hands, which happens sometimes with AI generated images. But to fix the image, rather than having to start over from scratch, I simply type in, fix the photo so she only has 2 arms like a normal person. Within seconds, it gave me the corrected version. No need to learn code or complicated tools. Just tell NanoBanana in plain English what you want it to do. And just like that, you've got a product photo you can drop into an ad or social media post. Next example, transferring expressions between subjects. Here's a yellow lab with a blank look on its face. Now here's a photo of a guy laughing his head off. I told NanoBanana, put that guy's laugh on the dog. And here's what it came back with. Then I tried a different photo of the same guy, this time scowling and looking angry. And here's that version. Same dog, but now it looks like it's ready to pick a fight. And here's a fun example, turning photos into cartoons. Here's a simple headshot of yours truly. I type in, transform this person into a Pixar-style cartoon character. And here's the result. It still looks like me, but now it's in a playful animated style. And just for fun, I asked NanoBanana to give me a surprise expression. Then I asked it to give me a skeptical expression. Notice how NanoBanana once again kept the character consistent, even when I asked it to give me a different facial expression. Many AI image generation tools really struggle with this. Next, changing camera angles. Here's a photo of a plate of sushi. I type in, show this same plate from a camera angle with an overhead view. And here's the result. Same sushi, same arrangement, just a new perspective from the same original image. No extra photo shoots needed. You can also try new hairstyles and colors. Here's a photo of a woman with long, straight brown hair. I type in, change her hairstyle to a short bob cut, and here's the result. Now I kept the bob style, but added, make her hair bright red, and here's that version. Super helpful if you're thinking about a radical change, but you're just not sure how it's going to look. And we're just scratching the surface here. These examples are just to get your creative juices flowing and show you what's possible with NanoBanana and how it's not just another AI image generation tool. And in the days and weeks ahead, I plan on experimenting even more to see what interesting image effects NanoBanana can produce. Now, is NanoBanana perfect? No. Sometimes it does weird stuff. Sometimes it takes a few iterations to get your image looking exactly right. But that's expected. It's only been out a couple weeks. What stands out with NanoBanana is that if you've used other AI image generators, this one feels different. It's not just Google's version of the same old thing. It's a new tool that does stuff that other tools struggle with. And that's what I wanted to show you in this video, just a flavor of how NanoBanana is different. If you'd like to see what other AI tools can actually help your business, I put together another video on the best AI tools for small businesses. You can check out that right here.